This woman I met just a few years ago, and once you meet her, everything changes. She's somebody who has her personality. She's just itty bitty, but her personality is bigger than life. It's amazing. When she walks into the room gets brighter. Her and her husband have exploded their organization, have exploded their business. They're currently earning over $2 million a year, headed towards $3 million a year in their business. And she's going to give you some great insight on how to be more effective in getting people started. Please welcome to the stage Miss Stefania Gatto Feier. Get him, sister.
Wow, I'm so excited to be here again in Vegas. You know what? I always thought that by coming here, I was being a blessing to you guys, to have this honor to pour out some knowledge. But the truth is, coming here, it's the biggest blessing for me. The messages, the love, how you loved my dress last year and my shoes and all the comments. This morning I walked in the elevator all nervous, and this bunch of women were like, "Oh, I love your shoes, you look amazing." And you cheer me up. You're like, I love women. Together we kill it. Really? Go, girls! Okay, so another thing, as you can hear, I'm Italian, and I realized that I do have an accent when I was very honored, right, by the sopranos singing Italian. Because when I landed, I wanted to, I have a SIM card. I wanted my telephone card, to have more credit. And I was walking towards the gate, and I was, the credit card says, tell your number. And I was going 3, 4, 5, and I was like, sorry, repeat. 3, 4, 5. I tried the British accent, 4, 5, nothing worked. So that made me realize that I had to stop and type the number in. So that made me realize I have an accent, but I hope you will understand me. So girls, let me just tell you quickly my story, and then I'll get to you exactly what I do when I start up people, because this is, I believe, is the most important step. Because when you sign up people, that's not the victory. When somebody calls me, "Oh, I just signed up somebody," I said, okay, that's what you're going to do next is what counts. But just for you to know, 5 years ago, I had no idea what network marketing was. And the only reason why I accepted to go to one of those meetings was because I had just got divorced. I was completely broke. I lost my home. I lost my car. I lost my marriage. And I decided, okay, since I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, I didn't know what to do. You know what? Let me go and hear about this business. And honestly, my state of, is it right now? Oh. I didn't do it. Sorry, that's typical me. Okay, can I hold this up like that? So honestly, I was feeling terrible. I was feeling miserable. I was feeling like I'm not worth anything anymore. I'm one of those lucky people that when they, thank you, you knew it, right? Because I move all the time. He said, don't move, but Italians, they use their hands. It's very hard for me. Love you too. She just said that she loves me. So, and I was feeling terrible. I was feeling like, what am I going to do now? And let me tell you, friends sometimes can be the worst. They're like, oh my God, really? You never worked because all you did was to follow his career. Now broke with 3 boys. Who's going to ever even want you? I was like, great. So it was really hard. But then, I'm a believer, and I went into my knees, and I asked God for opening a bigger door than I ever had in my life. I trusted Him. I love the Lord. And guess what? He made me jump into this Instagram picture where I saw a little kitten looking into a mirror, now I put a new picture, and looking into a lion. And I thought, my name is Stefania the cat, which is Stefania, the cat means Stefania, Stefania Gatto means Stefania the cat. And I thought, you know what? Everybody sees me as a kitten, but I'm going to be a lioness for my kids, and I'm going to go out there and hunt for them. And let me ask you something, girls. Let me ask you. If the lion is the king of the jungle, then what is the lioness? What is it? Isn't she the queen? She's the queen, right? So, let me tell you something. You know what queens do? They turn pain into power. Every one of you has a queen inside of them. Every woman is a queen. Now, I want you to look at your neighbor and say, like, girl, when you leave the house, don't forget your crown. Say it. We are, all women are queens, and guess what? We build empires, and in network marketing, we can build empires. We can leave a legacy. Isn't this amazing? All you have to do, besides working really, really hard, no, is to find your why. And obviously, my why were my boys. I got so many no's. I had no credibility. People looked at me like, yeah, right, just because now you're broke all of a sudden, you're going to start one of these things. I admit it. It was really hard. But every time I wanted to quit, I looked at my boys. And let me show you. I found this picture. Somebody sent it to me. This was my first incredible meeting. The only two people taking notes were 4 years old. Do you see them? Check the picture out. Nobody signed up. Nobody even bought products. The room was full of smoke. Italians still smoke a lot. Full of smoke. You know, I hated it. And I felt like, what a terrible meeting. But you know what happened that night? I connected with one woman. Her son was my son's age with the same name, Luca. And we became friends. We connected. And she was a hairdresser. And she told me, I love your hair. I want to do your highlights. I said, okay. So I became her client. I didn't sell her anything, but I became her client. And I went to her hairdresser. And while she was doing my hair, because I created a relationship, trust, she told me, you know what? I am actually going to buy something from you. And from that day, because one of her clients, who is one of my top leaders right now in the company, few months later, from that loser meeting, I had my first glamorous meeting with all those rich ladies, with those Italian affrescos on top. You know why? Because this woman is the best hairdresser in the center of Rome. All her clients are millionaires, and when she told them, girls, let's do something fun, let's do something that we can buy our husbands gift without seeing them on their credit card what we spend, come to me. That's my first people. I thought nobody would do network marketing because when you're broke, you know, like me, you would do it, right? It's right. It's just like Emily said. Do not preconceive anybody. And today, those are my normal Teams events meetings. I'm not talking about the huge company events. You know, this is in Germany with my German team, amazing team. And one of the reasons why I believe because I became successful is because I'm simple. I am as I am. I'm authentic. And now let me tell you exactly what I do when I sign up somebody. So, first thing I tell them, please shut up. Don't talk. I know you're excited. I know you're going to want to go and shout the world on Facebook. Everybody, oh, I'm starting this business and the products and all that and spam everybody. But what you're going to do by doing that, you are going to actually scare people away. You're going to make people burn. You say burn people? You say that or no? Burn alive? No. In Italian, you say you burn people. You burn your contacts. So the first thing I tell them to do is say, listen, to become a doctor, you need 30 years studying, practicing. Can you please at least take 30 hours to study this profession? 30 hours, no more. I trust me, it's a simple profession, but you need to know what you're doing. And I'm so grateful that Eric now translated in all those languages Go Pro, and I tell them, please now, go home and read the book. I even have books with me all the time. So if they buy the big package, only if they buy the big package, I give them a book for free. Otherwise, they can buy it from me because I have to teach them to give value to things. Guys, don't just think it's important just to give. You need to give value to things. So the first thing I tell them, read the book, then start using some products. I normally have a stock with me, so then I replace, I make them come to my house and I give it to them if they sign up at my house. Otherwise, the products arrive pretty quickly. Otherwise, whatever, start using the service. Check the website, check the compensation plan, go and read. Too many people are expecting that we do everything for them. They have to take some time and know what they're doing before they even go and talk about it. And then I tell them, write your list. Don't show up to the next appointment with me if you don't have a list ready. Because the list is what is so important, right? I like that. You can clap. It's okay. The list is so important. What are you going to do without a list? And of course, I also tell them, write down all the doubts and questions. But guess what? Once they went and watched all the videos, once they read GoPro, the questions are really nothing. It's more about you empowering them. And now, I found this picture. I thought it looked a little bit like me, blondie, tiny. No, I'm joking. But I wish sometimes I could be the superhero and magically just transfer all my knowledge and all the pain I went through and all the wisdom that now I have after lots of no's and failures to the people. But you can't do that. And you also cannot do it all for them. Guys, yes, a sponsor is important to start up the right person, but also don't start to do it all, because that was my problem. I felt like, okay, I'm going to do the meeting for you, I'm going to do the phone call for you, I'm going to do everything for you. And then they just sit down and do nothing. You need to empower them right away and make them understand that this business, they are entrepreneurs. One of the things that I'm really, really grateful about my parents and my ex-husband, at least, is that they gave me a millionaire mindset. I'm not afraid to make the money I make today because I know that I knew even before that it was possible. I was never scared to make $10,000 a month, $50,000 or more. That never scared me. Of course, I never thought that then the business would explode and then network marketing is the freaking best business in the world. But still, I wasn't afraid. And I believe many, many people, they think too small. So I teach them that, I tell them that, but I also need a teachable heart. I hate it when people shut up at the meeting. This is happening especially with successful businessmen. Oh, I know it all. Like, what are you going to teach me? Well, if you're good in the traditional business, good for you because you have a very big, you have credibility. But that does not make you the best in network marketing. I was just a mom, and I'm good at it now. Better than some businessmen out there. There are, or some big managers. So you should listen. I want people I want to find their abilities, natural abilities. For example, for me, it's quite natural to connect with people. I love people. People give me energy. So if a person is introvert, like my husband or even Eric, right? But he always says it. But if they are like that, they have to force themselves to get out of the box. Then, my husband, after a meeting like this, he would go back home and stare at the wall, read a book, and I would be still downstairs chatting at the party with everybody. That's how we are. We just need to understand our strength and our weaknesses, but still, he let himself be taught that part in the business, and I am a mess at calling people, organizing all that, and I had to learn on the Excel sheet, put the name, the follow-up. I'm terrible at the follow-up. Why? Because I'm like a little tornado, go left and right, and I had to learn to become more organized. So you can imagine this morning, my closet and my makeup, right, to come here. I don't wake up like that, okay? Just so you know. So just for you to understand, when I start somebody, the way I see them is first the newborn baby. They're babies. They can't live without us. They need us. We need to, we cannot abandon it. If you abandon a baby, the baby is going to die. And so it's okay. They make you all the question. You need to feed them every 3 hours, I think. But if they call you now, I don't know if you have those distributors that they sign up and they're calling you all the time. I'm like, okay. But I see them as a baby. Thank God they immediately jump to the toddler phase. So they will have to, that's cool. You have to learn, you have to teach them the first steps. Like a mom starting to walk, starting to talk. My goodness, I remember the first meetings when I let my leaders talk, I wanted so much to stand up from the chair and say, let me do it. That's terrible. But I had to sit down and say, no, they have to learn to do it on their own. Just like a mother, even though the son is not making much sense, is proud when he's starting to talk, like a toddler. They would fall off their bicycle, it's okay. How many times we tell our kids, don't touch the fire, it's burning, it burns, and then they touch the flame, and it's actually They need to touch it to know that it's burning. The same thing is going to be with our distributors. We're going to tell them, don't put your profile picture as your logo. And then you go there and you see it. And then they realize it doesn't work. Don't spam people. It doesn't matter. They need to go through it sometimes. You will tell them, but they need to go through it, just like toddlers do. And then some distributors are teenagers. They are so, all of a sudden, I don't understand anything anymore. They know it better. They are making their own new system. Their system is better than mine, or the company system. They want to quit all the time. They are negative all the time, and they call each other up just like teenagers and gossip. Oh yeah, I'm not happy here. Oh, it's always the sponsor's fault, the company's fault, everybody. Do you guys have some teenagers in your team? Well, let me tell you what I do with teenagers. I do exactly like I do with my 16-year-old. I am tough to them. I tell them what I think. And even though sometimes I use a sandwich talk, I got to the point that I made some people cry. Because to me, they're like cancer into my congregation. Do you say congregation? Into my, you need to talk to them, put them some wisdom, and like teenagers, I have to tell you this story. One of my distributors one time showed up at a meeting, and she looked like she was going to a strip club. Leather hair, cleavage, short skirt. She had it all. Just like teenagers, right? When somebody goes, are you going to school looking like that? I don't have a daughter, but I have some of my girlfriends that tell me. Well, I wanted to kill her, right? It was a very important meeting. Like, she was going to speak about the products. But everybody came up to me, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? What are you going to tell her? So I could have told her on her face, you're crazy. But I went to her and said, listen, you look way too hot for you to be out there, because people will not focus on the products, they will focus on you. So please go home and change. So do you see how I didn't want to talk to her like that. She said, you think so? Do you think I look too beautiful? I said, yes. Go home and change. Sometimes you just have to talk to the teenagers in a smart way, and those are the same distributors. And then, I'm not sure, did I go to the next slide? Because I'm a mess with technology. It's adults now? Adults, yeah. So, the adults are when they become leaders. Finally, they become independent. Finally, they do their own thing. Finally, you can team them up together. Once a week, I have a leader phone call where those adults get together. And even though they're cross-line, we help each other. We organize things together. We talk to each other. And for me, this is an amazing time because I pour out all I have, all the knowledge into them. Because I want them to become independent. I want them to be better than me. In fact, many of them are. And this is great. This is amazing. This is the only business that you want people to overtake you and be better than you, because their success is our success, right? Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. And once they become adults, they will become parents of many babies. So leaders make new leaders. Isn't that amazing? Just to have, and sometimes this phase is very quickly. It doesn't take 20 years, okay? Sometimes some people will remain babies. Some people will remain teenagers. It doesn't matter, but I will work with parents of many new babies, because those are the ones that will duplicate and they will rock my team. So, another thing I need to tell you. Now becomes easy. The word network marketing. I mean, I'm Italian, okay? But I can realize that the word work is in the sentence. So when people tell me like, oh, but I thought all I had to do was to share a few products. Yeah, to get a little bit of money. But if you want to achieve something great, if you want to become like the women that spoke on this weekend and have incredible teams, international teams all over the world, you need to work and work hard. Not forever. What you will sow today, you will reap it later, but you need to work. This is so important. And give them thanks. Okay. That was not what I wrote, but doesn't matter. And what I also do is that I book the next webinar with them. I want them to be on my Zoom calls, on my Skypes. I live in Dubai. I have teams in 72 different countries. And I don't speak all their languages, so what I do, I empower, like my Arabic team, is there is a woman that speaks Arabic and she will do the presentation for them. Then I come just at the end and close up the meeting, for example. Or, I don't speak Spanish, I speak Portuguese. Now I was in Brazil helping Portugal. So I work online, but also offline, because for me it's important to connect with the people. And of course, you need to promote events. I mean, I look at my first event, my first international event, I had 11 people. I have the picture. I didn't take it because for you it wouldn't mean nothing, but I showed this picture to my team because they know who those people are. And from those 11 people, 6 quit for different reasons. The 5 that remained are all 6-figure earners. Does that say something to you? Amazing, right? Why? I took them to that event. They stayed. They didn't quit. But with time, in 4 years, they became successful. And I love to show the picture because everybody in the room in my company knows who they are, and they can really see it with their eyes. And I only had 11 people. Last time Eric came to Italy, I had 1,300 people from my team at his event. Isn't it amazing? Amazing. So the duplication is just incredible. Now, I'm lucky because I have natural energy. And I always say that. Get out there and get some energy drink if you don't, because money follows energy. Okay? I've seen some incredible women up here. They have the energy. All my life I was like that. I'm like this also off stage, okay? My husband instead, when he's on stage, he becomes somebody else because he knows that in order to talk to the people, he needs to have energy. Take action. Action. You cannot just do it for a while and then stop. You need to have a continuous, it's a continuous process. Yes, you can take some time off and put your family first and your kids first, but you need to take action. Just go out there. Be fearless. Be the queen I told you you are. And kings, guys, sorry. There are some kings too. But, and of course, be authentic. I'm authentic. What you see is what you get. Sometimes I can be a little bit too much because I say exactly what I think. I learned in this business to be more of a psychologist sometimes or a politician. But people know that I'm authentic. And this is fundamental for your business because people are still skeptical. I still today have lots of people that I meet, even with my story, that are still skeptical. Right? It's okay. It's normal. But if you're authentic, they feel it. They see the light in your eyes. They see the way you talk. They see that you are not there to make even more money. You are there to help them. I love this business because I can change lives. I can bless lives. It's not anymore about me. I started because it was only about me and my kids. I admit it. It was only because of the money. But later on, things change, and it's about giving and being grateful. Grateful. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my team. I'm grateful to Eric Worre that I have to give so much credit for all our success because I started with his teachings. I'm grateful to Marina. Marina took what Eric did and just took it to a whole different level with this event. Women are just amazing. We are just incredible. I just want to tell you girls, I love you. Thank you so much for all your love and your energy back to me. And I hope that you know the queen that you are. Love you guys. Bye.